My name is David Corbett. I was a third-class petty officer in the Navy Seabees. Well, I had got drafted into the Army, but I was very lucky to get into the Navy. They took me in before the Army could get me. Boot camp was up in Davisville, Rhode Island. I was what was called an IPO. We was able to get in because they had this special program opened that the Navy needed Seabees desperately, so they gave us rank, which made us instant petty officers, we were called. We went to Davisville, Rhode Island, was where our boot camp was at. We were supposed to have a 4-week boot camp and go directly to the battalions and start work. And go to what we needed to do, bring the battalions up to wartime strength, because Vietnam was very bad condition. We were directly sent to whatever battalions were needed at the time, directly over. I was sent to San Diego to the Amphibious Battalion, ACB-1, myself and several other people. We was lucky enough to stay there for an extra, I think it was 3 months. We had and a few more months of survival training and weapons training. We learned how to shoot on a rifle range and survival training, surviving in a desert and also in fighting in a village. We learned fighting the Viet Cong in a village. We were very lucky. Other guys did not have that. They went directly over without no extra training. But we were very lucky. So then from there, I went to Japan. From Japan, we was in our battalion was split. Half our battalion was in San Diego, half was in Japan. We went to Japan. Myself personally, I got a special operation like 3 weeks after I was in Japan to go to Vietnam to build a very special pontoon bridge. I went to Da Nang. That was the main tour for build that pontoon bridge. Da Nang had the very big base called Tin Sha. It was a very big supply base for all of northern Vietnam. And it was very tremendously big. When we went through that, it took a couple hours almost to drive around to look for your supplies. Very big base. Then there was some other nicknames of bases. There was a deep water pier where all the major shipping came in for the northern part of Vietnam. Very big deep water pier. A lot of ships came in there, unloaded supplies. And that was called Da Nang, the northern part. Went into a place called Qua Viet. That was very close to the DMZ. We went up there to do a pipeline. Okay. That was very close, and that was a lot of shelling up there. You got a lot of missiles up there. Because you're so close, they could travel long distance. We got shelled up there quite a bit because they definitely tried to make us stop putting in a fuel line. They don't like fuel lines. The holidays, I was over there one time only for one major holiday, was Thanksgiving. And the food then was a little bit too abundant to me. I mean, there was, my golly, so much lobsters and turkeys. We had several turkeys, several lobsters. You couldn't feed them. Finally, the CO of the base even came down and went through the line. And he said, fellas, there ain't no way that 500 guys are going to eat all this. That was the whole battalion. There was more than 500. And we were even there, and there was 17 of us. He said, finally, he told the XO, go down on the road. The Marine Corps finally had a convoy going by. They were going out. He said, go down and see somebody in that convoy, if what they're doing, where they're going, how many of them there are, if they want to stop in, if you have anybody who want to eat some of this, stop in and eat. Went down, and I don't know how many of them finally did come up and went through the line and ate, because we had so much. And a whole bunch of them Marines came up and ate. And I have no idea, and boy, that was wonderful. It's a wonderful thing to do. I was put in a special blue team. The blue team went back and forth from Vietnam whenever it was called for. We was on teams. We had all colored teams, different colors, whatever team was called upon to go to wherever they needed to go. The Philippines, Korea, we covered all of Asia. We were like 15 or 16 people to a team. And whenever the team had to go somewhere, they were gone. I wound up in Vietnam probably 5 times total. We'd go do the job, whatever it would take, 1 month or 2 months, then we'd go back to Japan. Work a while, and whenever a job came up, whatever team was turned to go to wherever they had to go, they would go do the job. Myself, my team, the blue team, like I said, we'd go different places. I was lucky enough, my team seemed like it would always go to Vietnam. What happened to Vietnam, we saw a lot of things. I saw a lot of things being shot at, We were shot at. I had to run many, many times. I saw a lot of action, but I never participated, thank the Lord. Yeah. That's why I joined the Navy Seabees, because I didn't want to run around through the woods chasing them little stinkers. I'd rather do what I did. I was trained as a welder. I was educated as a welder. That was my job. I didn't want to learn how to run through the woods chasing them little buggers. So that's why I did what I did. So everything was going good in my life the way I'd planned it. When I came back, they sent us back to a place called Treasure Island in San Francisco to be discharged. They had supposed to physically inspect you, your dental, your eyes, and everything, give you a complete physical, and then I think it was supposed to take 5 days, and then they send you home. In that 5 days, you stood 1 day on duty. You're on the island. You're not allowed to leave. You stay there, and you walk around and watch night watch or something for a day. But in the meantime, the 4 other days, you have liberty to go into San Francisco to do anything you want to do. Well, by luck, out of boot camp, about 25 of us stayed together. Went to Japan together. We were on deployments together. We worked together in our shop in the battalion. We stayed together from boot camp. We were together. 4 of us decided to go down to San Francisco together. So we said, let's go to this place where we've been hearing about Haight-Ashbury. That was the center of you hippies. We're going to go to Haight-Ashbury. And we only been home 2 days, right from Vietnam. Got there, said, let's go find this center of the world. We're walking down the street. 500 hippies are walking right toward us, just screaming and yelling. We said, holy shit. We ducked in the doorway. Here we are. You can tell you're military. You can tell what we were. We had civilian clothes on. But we ducked in the door. We said, well, we had the shit kicked out of us. We're going to the hospital if we live. They walked right past us. What the hell? We stayed there and let them go. Didn't move. We waited for about 15 minutes. We came out. We looked around. There's a motorcycle cop just 100 feet from us, talking to about 4 or 5 of them. So we looked around, they're gone. The big line's gone. Then they're scattered all up and down just talking, smoking dope. Some of them sitting down. We looked 2 blocks down, there's a big line of them, got the road blocked. They made the traffic stop and backed them up, made the cars back up. Haight-Ashbury is still about 3 or 4 blocks up the road. This is a new world. So we didn't, we just stood there and looked. Said, well, I'm not going up there. I'm scared to go up there now. So let's go down and see what's going on. We went down. They just decided to hold a demonstration. They blocked the street. Cops come out in a riot gear. Firemen come down in their trucks. And they all got in front of them. They didn't do nothing but stand there. Cops didn't do a thing. Firemen didn't do nothing. They just all stood and looked at each other. After about 2 or 3 hours, they went home. Firemen went home. Cops went home. It was over. I said, you got to be shitting me. I said, oh yeah, this happened. I asked the one cop, I said, what was this all about? He said, oh, nothing. They do this all the time. This is a new demonstration. This is the new world. I said, this is what I come home to. This is what I went over there for. I said, I should have joined them suckers. This is America. Oh yeah, I said, this is everywhere. And the 3 of us, we thought we would be pummeled. They didn't even talk to us. Then I went back to the island. We went back and finished up our discharge business. And I was too scared to go back to the city again after that. I stayed there for the next couple of days until they gave me my plane ticket and said, thank you. I went back to Pittsburgh, 68.